Fortunately, ivermectin is a remarkable drug. People poo-poo it, talk about it as horse dewormer, which is completely absurd. So if you had to design a drug for COVID, it would look exactly like ivermectin. It has all the properties that any drug would want. It's antiviral, so it works against a whole host of RNA viruses. This is indisputable. It is anti-inflammatory. We know this. There are multiple studies showing that ivermectin is a very powerful anti-inflammatory drug. We know that what it does is it stimulates a process called autophagy, which is very important in the process of healing. And it's one of the main mechanisms that we use to help patients get rid of spike protein. And ivermectin, believe it or not, stimulates autophagy. The other thing it does, which is important, is it improves the microbiome. So we have all of these bacteria in our gut. And what happens is COVID and the vaccine changes your microbiome in a very unfavorable manner, very unfavorable. It causes profound changes in the microbiome. And this in itself has serious consequences. Ivermectin helps restore the microbiome. So it truly is a multifunctional drug which is safe, and it works both for early COVID, and it also is very effective for the vaccine injured. So it really, and it's not, we're not making money selling ivermectin. No one's going to make money. People ask, well, you got a conflict of interest. Are you selling ivermectin? No. This is a cheap generic drug. The WHO actually had access to ivermectin at 2 cents a tablet. 2 cents. How can you possibly make money off such a cheap drug?
As we're talking here, you paint a picture, a very disturbing picture of the medical establishment. I could ask a number of questions. One is, why is there so few doctors thinking along the lines, at least, of what you are?
Yeah, so it's a very puzzling question to me. Why? Because I have no reason but to tell the truth. What do I gain by promoting misinformation? So, in my entire career, I've sought the truth, and that's what we do. We tell the truth as best we understand the truth. And it is astonishing to me why there's so few physicians who actually prepare to open their eyes and see what's going on. And I do think about this often because, why is it just a handful of doctors? And it's perplexing to me. I think maybe that we in an era of medicine where doctors just follow. This is part of the training at medical school, is that they become lemmings. They're just followers. They've lost the process of independent thought. And I see this in our residents. They can't think. The material between their two ears is not utilized. They just regurgitate what they're told. They follow protocols. They don't think. So I think that could be part of it. I think also there may be an element of fear, that maybe they suspect that something is wrong, something isn't right, but they're fearful of their career because we know that the agencies and medical boards have gone after people that have spoken against the narrative, and physicians have lost their license. And obviously that's, for a physician to lose a license, basically it ends their career. So it may be an element of fear. And then the third could be just ignorance, is that they just don't understand, don't want to know. And I think they're also misled by the medical journals. So I used to be in that category. I used to think that what you read in the medical journals was the truth, and that the highly revered medical journals spoke the truth. We know now that that's completely false, that you really can't believe what's in the medical journals. And so this is a terrible statement I'm making, because if you can't trust the medical journals, who can you trust? And so I think physicians have to have an open mind and have to begin to think critically. And what they often do is will read the concluding paragraph of the abstract of a paper, And that's what they base their assessment of. And the conclusions are always contrived and don't really reflect the paper. So I think you have to be very suspicious of what's published, particularly when there's a conflict of interest. So, if we know pharmaceutical companies manipulate data, they hide data, they have ghost writers who write these papers, that you really can't trust the medical journals. And so, Marcia Angell, who I think is a hero, she was the editor of New England Journal for many, many years. She wrote a book in 2004 basically saying that you can't trust the journals, you can't trust the medical committees and organizations just because they're captured by Big Pharma, which is a terrible indictment of the system. I think it's a combination of factors why so many doctors are so silent. But I think, they need to face, they need to face the truth. They need to speak the truth, and they need to stop hiding behind this facade of misinformation.